Hey, this is the Well Advised channel too. What I want to talk about today is the truth about self-defense. So for this video, I will discuss the truth about self-defense, which means the truth about how self-defense actually works versus how we've been taught it to work. As the truth of the matter is, since this is a channel, that of course focuses on Black issues and so on and so forth and stuff relating to Black people, at least at this point, the truth of the matter is it would be very good to really teach Black people how to learn how to defend themselves, especially in a world that's so hostile and hateful towards us. Okay, so now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of how to defend yourself, the proper way versus the way we've been taught to defend yourself, is that when it comes to self-defense, the proper way to defend yourself is to realize that self-defense is more down to fighting smart than fighting hard. Okay, because when it comes to fighting smart, okay, which is a more effective way of doing things because it ends the fight more quickly and efficiently, you know, for that matter, okay? The truth of the matter is, fighting smart works way better, okay? And not only does it work way better and helps you learn how to see results much more quicker, it is also much more of a greater confidence booster than simply fighting hard, okay, for that matter, okay, to be honest with you. It is definitely a more effective method, okay? So when it comes in further detail, what exactly is fighting smart is fighting in a technique based way. It's just like, for example, if somebody tries to throw a punch in your face, throw a punch in your face, instead of focusing on dodging it and throwing a punch at their face or any body part or something, fighting smart would consist of, okay, if he tries to throw a punch at my face, I'm going to dodge and go to the side, parry his arm against one of my arms, in order to prevent his arm from moving, and hit him quickly in the stomach, or even hit him maybe in the head, with the palm of my hand, or whatever technique you prefer, so on and so forth, whatever you just in general prefer, whatever is most convenient, and then I want to push him to the ground. That's how fighting smart works, okay? It pretty much just consists of using technique in order to win fights, okay? For that matter, instead of focusing on actually relying primarily on just simply who can throw the most punches quickest, okay? Because the truth of the matter is that's a more inconvenient way, especially when you're in a street fight, okay? Because some people are freaking crazy. You don't know what the hell they're gonna do and what they have up their sleeve. So you want to end it as quickly and efficiently as possible without, of course, having to, of course, waste your time learning how to punch as quickly as possible and stuff. Okay, that's the truth of the matter when you want to end a fight. Okay, and it's not just that technique. There's numerous different techniques out there. Just like, for example, what if somebody tries to throw uh, a punch to your face? Okay, or like punch directly to your face, and you don't really have enough time, or maybe whatever for whatever reason, whatever, to move out to the side. I might go beneath him, okay, parry his arm up, and then elbow him in the stomach. Whatever you decide. In all honesty, the truth of the matter is there's different ways of fighting techniques, and the truth of the matter is one thing is for certain though, is that it's way more efficient um than fighting um, hard, if anything. Which fighting hard, to be specific, is things like karate, fighting in a karate based way. I mean, um, boxing, kickboxing, even maybe Brazilian Jiu Jitsu or mixed MMA to be more specific. Those are fighting more hard. You focus more on just simply reflex and throwing as much punches instead of just getting straight to the point and just ending a freaking fight, okay? And that is the truth of the matter when it comes to this particular situation, okay? And anything for that matter. You want to end the situation as quickly as possible. And if you want to make it even a bit very flashy, then go ahead, do it. Because especially if you're fighting against numerous opponents, if anything, the more flashy you make it, which just means you do more hits, it kind of makes it kind of clear to them, yeah, I'm not fucking with this kid, in honesty. So the simple truth of the matter is absolutely rely on fighting smart, okay? fighting smart, if anything, okay? All this stuff about throwing punches and this and that is just stupid and is outdated for that matter, okay? And that's the truth of the matter. That is the best way to learn how to fight, okay? And especially us as black people, being as oppressed as we are and stuff, not all the time we will have access, to the things obviously people of other races, specifically, of course, no surprise, white people have access to. Whether it could be things like, of course, to be quite honest with you, um, things like easily maybe like the best quality martial arts schools, the best the best fighting schools with this and that. We don't have access to that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you can't learn things on your own. Okay, for that matter. All you need to do if you want to learn how to fight, especially on your own, especially if you're in a very hostile environment, whether it could be the hood or like maybe a really racist neighborhood, whatever for that matter, to put it bluntly, the simple truth of the matter is you can learn to do those things by actually, you know, doing things on your own, okay? Maybe you might, for example, have a friend, for example, you can learn how to dodge, okay? Which dodging for fighting smart is extremely important, okay? So you can learn how to dodge. Or not just learning how to dodge through having your friend throw punches at you, which obviously as you become more advanced, you can speed it up a bit, if anything, of course, with the proper protective gear. You could also, of course, no surprise, as well, you know, develop your ability to punch properly by looking at proper video tutorials on YouTube, and stuff, and learn how to punch properly when you're punching a body bag and develop your hand coordination speed, and learn how to lift weights so you build up your muscle mass, and learn how to practice through sparring with a partner, of course, and of course not taking things too far, in order to help develop your ability to learn how to come up with how to fight smart, and not just fight smart through on paper, but fight smart in the moment. Like, okay, if my opponent tries to throw a punch in my face, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, or something like that, or I'm going to try to trip him or this and that, and all that type of stuff, whatever you like to say. And it's going to make things a lot easier for me, okay? And you just develop your ability, and naturally over time, sooner you know it, you might be doing very good at learning how to fight, okay? Um, and that is the truth of the matter. So that is the truth of the matter. If you want to learn how to defend yourself, it's hard, but it's not as hard as you think it is. It's absolutely not. And the fact that you can learn how to fight through fighting smart will definitely build your confidence instead of relying on these silly reflex moves and going to these silly martial arts schools, specifically the martial arts schools, where you could be spending anywhere from weeks to even months just doing silly things that don't really matter before they start teaching you how to actually fight, which is actually, from a survival perspective, is actually dumb. Because anyone who knows anything about survival, anything can happen at any period of time. Okay, whether it could be something as far-fetched as is something as crazy, I should say, as living in the woods, or even just dealing with bad people who really want to terrorize you and make your life a living hell. It is you have to learn at things as quickly as possible. You don't have time to waste time saying, "Oh, I'm gonna wait weeks and months before I learn the good stuff." You can start learning anytime. It's just what matters most in the end of the day is that you are just keeping it simple. You're following the basic rules. You're not trying to do anything really over the top in a short period of time. You just do the best job you can freaking do, and that's the truth of the matter. In honesty. So in short, that's the truth about fighting, okay? You don't have to go to some big time facility or this and that. You just simply can learn on your own. If you have at least a buddy or a few buddies and a few this and that, you can start practicing and developing your ability over time. Because at the end of the day, all it really just pretty much consists of, to be more specific, aside from saying fighting smart, is just learning how to parry and hit your opponent. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And if you can do that well, then you're kind of good to go from there. In honesty, to be honest with you. So that's the truth of the matter, okay? Besides, we already know how the world is run. And a lot of white people, I ain't saying all, but a lot of them are masters, or specifically referring to the ones at the top, are masters at learning how to figure out ways to keep black people out of their education system. So the truth of the matter is, since they're going to try to pull off that shit on us, what matters most in the end of the day is that you, of course, of course, no surprise, realize that you can figure things out on your own in a worst case situation, because we don't know where things are going to go in the future. God forbid, what we don't know. And the truth of the matter is, we just simply have to prepare ourselves, because the truth is, white people have been known to gatekeep knowledge and knowledge and wisdom to themselves, because they don't want to keep black people, because they don't want to let black people know the things that they know. And that's the truth of the matter. So in short, this is a good survival tip. So in the worst case scenario, you can always learn to defend yourself. So anyway, this was my video. All I have to say is that I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And that's all I have to say. Simply put, I'm out. So bye.